Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving headfirst into one of the universe's most terrifying and fascinating phenomena: black holes. We always hear about their unstoppable power, but could they have a weakness? Could a spaceship, or even a person, ever survive an encounter? Let's find out. First, let's talk about what makes black holes so scary. They are cosmic vacuum cleaners with gravity so intense that nothing, not even light, can escape once it crosses the event horizon. This point of no return is what gives them their name and their fearsome reputation. At the center of it all lies the singularity, a point of infinite density where the laws of physics as we know them just completely break down. Sounds pretty unbeatable, right? For anything that gets too close, especially a smaller stellar mass black hole, the end is swift and brutal. The immense gravitational gradient would cause something called spaghettification. Your body would be stretched into a long, thin noodle of atoms before you even reach the event horizon. Not exactly a pleasant way to go. So the strength of a black hole is its gravity. It's simple, powerful, and utterly dominant in its corner of the cosmos. But here's where things get interesting. Not all black holes are created equal. Their greatest strength is also tied to their greatest potential vulnerability: their size. Let's compare a small, stellar mass black hole, maybe a few times the mass of our Sun, with a supermassive black hole like Sagittarius A at the center of our own Milky Way, which is millions or even billions of times more massive. You might think the bigger one is deadlier, and in a way you're right, but it's also, paradoxically, gentler. The tidal forces that cause spaghettification are much weaker near the event horizon of a supermassive black hole. Why? Because the event horizon is so much farther from the singularity. The gravitational pull is still immense, but it's more uniform across your body. This means you could theoretically cross the event horizon of a supermassive black hole completely intact. You wouldn't be stretched into spaghetti. You'd just drift across the point of no return without even noticing. Of course, you'd still be doomed, but you'd survive the initial crossing. That's a weakness of a sort, a gentler entry. Now let's talk about another potential weakness: Hawking radiation. The legendary physicist Stephen Hawking proposed that black holes aren't entirely black. Due to quantum effects near the event horizon, they slowly leak energy and particles back into space. This process is incredibly slow for large black holes, taking longer than the current age of the universe for them to evaporate completely. So, it's not a weakness we can exploit. We can't just wait for a black hole to disappear. But it tells us they are not eternal prisons. They have a finite lifespan. They are not perfect, static objects. They are dynamic parts of the universe that eventually fade away. This fundamentally changes how we see them, not as eternal monsters but as temporary, albeit incredibly long-lived cosmic phenomena. Okay, so we've established that surviving a trip inside a black hole is off the table. But what about surviving an encounter from a distance? Here the game changes completely. Black holes have another major weakness. They only control their immediate vicinity. Their gravitational pull, while immense up close, follows the same inverse square law as any other object. If you replaced our Sun with a black hole of the exact same mass, Earth wouldn't suddenly get sucked in. We'd continue orbiting it, just as we do now, only in complete darkness and freezing cold. The danger zone is surprisingly small. A black hole is not a cosmic predator actively hunting for prey. It's more like a passive cosmic pothole. You have to be on a direct collision course to fall in. This brings us to our best survival strategy: orbital mechanics. If a spacecraft were to approach a black hole, it wouldn't have to outrun gravity. It would just need to use it. By carefully calculating its trajectory, a ship could perform a gravitational slingshot, also known as a gravity assist. It could whip around the black hole, stealing a tiny bit of its rotational energy to accelerate to incredible speeds. This is a technique we already use with planets like Jupiter to send probes to the outer solar system. A black hole would be the ultimate gravity assist engine. So, instead of being a deadly trap, a black hole could become a cosmic superhighway, a gateway to interstellar or even intergalactic travel. We could use its strength to our advantage. There's another fascinating type of black hole to consider: rotating black holes, also known as Kerr black holes. These are far more complex than their non-rotating counterparts. A spinning black hole drags space-time around with it in a region called the ergosphere, which lies outside the event horizon. Inside the ergosphere, it's impossible to stand still. You are forced to move with the black hole's rotation. Theoretically, a highly advanced civilization could tap into this rotational energy. This is called the Penrose process. By dropping an object into the ergosphere and having it split in two, with one half falling into the black hole and the other escaping, the escaping half could emerge with more energy than the original object had. In essence, you could mine energy from the black hole itself. This turns the black hole from a consumer of energy into a potential power source. Another weakness we could potentially exploit. Furthermore, the internal structure of a rotating black hole is theoretically very different. Instead of a point-like singularity, it might have a ring-shaped singularity or a ringularity. According to the math, it might be possible to pass through the center of this ring without being crushed, leading you into, well, we're not sure. Some theories suggest you could enter a wormhole and emerge in another part of our universe, or even in another universe entirely. Now, this is highly speculative. The path would be incredibly unstable, and the intense radiation inside would likely be fatal. But it's a mind-bending possibility that suggests a black hole might not be an end, but a gateway. A passage, not a prison. This potential for a pathway is perhaps its most profound, albeit theoretical, vulnerability. So, let's recap. The strengths of black holes are clear: their inescapable gravity and the destructive power of the singularity. But their weaknesses are just as compelling. Supermassive black holes offer a gentle entry. Hawking radiation proves they are not eternal. Their influence is limited to their immediate surroundings, making them avoidable. We can use their immense gravity for slingshot maneuvers to travel the cosmos. We could even, in theory, mine energy from a spinning black hole's ergosphere or pass through its ring singularity to another place or time. The narrative of the black hole as a pure destroyer is incomplete. It's also a cosmic engine, a potential power plant, and maybe even a portal. The universe isn't just a battle between good and evil, strong and weak. It's a complex interplay of forces. A black hole's greatest strength, its gravity, is the very thing that could enable us to traverse the stars at unimaginable speeds. Its complexity opens up possibilities that defy our everyday intuition. So, can we survive a black hole encounter? If you fall in, the answer is a definitive no. But if we're smart, if we respect its power and understand its weaknesses, a black hole might not be an enemy to be feared, but a cosmic tool to be harnessed. The ultimate cosmic paradox. Thanks for joining me on this journey to the edge of space and time. What do you think is the most fascinating aspect of black holes? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.